What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle video. Now today I'm bringing you a battle against Sandshrew Bogut, who is, I met him in the Lithio Battling Association, and he's a really freaking good battler. Like, he made it to playoffs, so he's that good of a battler. So I went onto the chat that ran in Skype and I said, hey guys, who's up for a battle? And if you can hear my dogs in the background, I'm gonna kill them. Just kidding, I love them. Anyway, and I was like, sure, let's have a mixture battle. So he said, okay, and then he messaged me, he says, so I have like 4 OU Pokemon, is that okay? I said, yeah, sure, I don't really care. And this is the team I ended up coming with. I have Victini, Mega Sharpedo, Weavile, Virizion, Zapdos, and Registeel. That's what he's called. And he has Excadrill, Umbreon, Dragonite, Mega Slowbro, and Skarmory, and Raikou. Now, if you guys don't know anything about my channel, first things first, I'm the realist, and second things second, I like Raikou. It's just how it is. So I'm gonna press play, and honestly, I'm gonna say right now that this battle was kind of on the long side. It was 54 turns, and that's because in the beginning, like, nothing could be broken. I couldn't break his walls, he couldn't break my walls, I couldn't break any of his Pokemon down, and he couldn't break any of mine. So it was just kind of like this big old fiasco in the beginning. He's going for a Volt Switch first turn. I am Assault Vested, and that did a lot of damage to an Assault Vested Victini, and that's leading me to think that he is Choice Specs, honestly, or Choice Scarf Modest, one of the two. On the first turn, I didn't really want to predict, so I go for the Fusion Flare. I kind of sort of expected Dragonite to come out because he resists, like, a lot of stuff, and I could have gone for a Side Shock, but I chose not to, and that was kind of a bad play. And then I decided to go into my Registeel just because I know I can eat up any hit. Registeel is bulky on both ends, but I'm running mainly a special defensive Registeel. But it also has Iron Defense and Amnesia, so nothing can really penetrate this thing really too well. It takes kind of a lot to kill it, unless I just let it go down. So he's going to go into his Mega Slowbro, and I'm going to Toxic it, because I was expecting Dragonite to stay, and I was like, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you don't have multi-scale, or is it multi-scale? Or, yeah, it's something like that. I don't know. I don't really like Dragonite all that much. But now that I've Toxic the Slowbro, its Mega is kind of sort of useless because it has a numbered amount of turns. And with me having a physically defensive Zapdos with, like, and it has, like, some weird EVs to, like, kill some stuff. And then this thing, there's no way he's going to be killing me. I go for an Amnesia, and you saw how much a Fire Blast did. It did maybe 15%. Maybe. So I'm kind of sort of sitting pretty against this thing. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just stay the heck in here and let this thing just do whatever it wants to. I was expecting something like a burn or something like that, like a Scald burn, because, you know, I have the best luck with freaking Scald. But he ends up just going into this damn Skarmory. Now, I use Skarmory in my LBA team. I like using it. Hate having it used against me. If you use Skarmory, I hate you. Just kidding. I just don't like Skarmory. He's going to set up the Stealth Rocks, and that kind of sort of sucks for me for a couple different reasons. Because I do have a Weavile. Ice is weak to rocks, so that's like 25% right there. I have a Zapdos. Toast. Cinnamon Toast. That sounds really freaking good right now. And this is basically what I'm stuck to. I'm stuck to basically just going for Iron Defenses and Seismic Tosses. I kind of figured he would Whirlwind me out because I'm at, like, +2 special defense, +2 physical defense. Dog, shut your face. Please. Thank you. Thank you. So I go into my Sharpedo, and I'm going to go for a Crunch just because I'm not going to Mega Evolve because I figured he would expect me to. He would go for a Roost and all that normal nonsense crap that happens with Mega Sharpedo. You always stay in Protect to get the speed boost and the Mega Evolve to get the Crunch off. Now, right here, I probably could have Mega Evolved and probably could have Crunched and probably could have killed it for the simple fact that I would have had the ability, the Strong Jaw ability, right? Strong Jaw? I think that's what it's called. Strong Jaw ability, so to where Crunch might have actually killed it. But instead he goes for a Whirlwind, sends in my freaking Weavile, and I'm like, Weavile, what the piss are you doing? You're not supposed to be Weavile, you're supposed to be Zapdos coming in here so you can Heat Wave, Defog, all this crap. But I'm like, you know what? I might as well make the best out of the situation. So I go for a knock off this thing's Rocky Helmet, and he goes for a Roost. I'm like, you know what? At least you don't have Rocky Helmet anymore, so now I can Seismic Toss you and not really worry about it, and I can stall out your Roost if I have to. I don't really want to, but I can. Now here's the funny thing about Weavile. Weavile, I never plan for it to use things other than Ice Shard or Ice Punch or anything like that because it's so fast, and I always choice band it because of that. So I'm choice banded in a knockoff, so I kind of sort of have to switch out after like 2 knockoffs and go into my Victini, and Victini's just going to come in here being all cute and whatnot, and then gets Whirlwind right back to freak out. So thank you, Skarmory, for being a total douche. Goes into my Sharpedo. At least you don't have Stealth Rocks. Just kidding. You do have Stealth Rocks because I haven't gotten my freaking Zapdos in there just yet. I was kind of upset about that. So right here, I decided to hard switch into my Zapdos for a couple different reasons. I was like, you know what? He's probably going to go for a Whirlwind again. And if he doesn't, then that's perfect because it's not like I'm going to have a chance to get my Zapdos in here anyway with my luck. And he goes for a Roost. I'm like, holy piss balls. That is freaking awesome. Thank you very much for not going for a Whirlwind. So now that Zapdos is in here looking all fly and whatnot with its wings flapping back and forth, it's kind of going to scare this thing out because he knows that I could carry the Heat Wave, which I just so happen to. And I go for a Heat Wave because I was like, you know what, if you stay in, that's one less Skarmory in the world. And I'm like, that's always a nice thing to have one less Skarmory in the world. But instead he goes in this damn Umbreon, and I'm just like, titties, man. Titties. I don't really know what to do, so I'm kind of just chilling in here, and I just go for a default because there's no point in me switching out. If he goes for a Toxic, that's one of my walls Toxic, and that's not really good. But if he goes for a Wish, if he goes for a Foul Play, anything, I can live it, no freaking problem, because Zapdos is a BA, man. Zapdos is a BA. And I'm going to get my leftovers recovery, and I'm almost back up to full health, and this Umbreon is just sitting here with a little derpy look on its face, and it's just... Dumbreon. Whatever, man. So I'm going to switch right out here, and I'm going to go into my Weavile. Just because I know that I don't have Stealth Rocks on my side of the field anymore, so I don't really have to worry too much about sending in my Weavile willy-nilly like that. And he's then going to go into his Dragonite, because if you remember, I took off a little bit of its HP, goes for the Wish, gets his Multiscale back up. I was like, wow, you, my friend, are really freaking smart. He carries the extreme speed on his Dragonite, just like most people do, and it doesn't take me out. I'm like, Weavile, you bulky little bastard, go for the knockoff and knock off this thing's weakness policy. This is where I wish I wasn't banded and I was something like Expert Belt or something like that, because I could go for an Ice Shard right now. But instead, I go into my Virizion expecting another extreme speed, but he actually switches out into the Slowbro. No, this thing right here. Now, I don't really know like what Virizion can do to this thing, but I carry a really weird set. I carry Taunt, Calm Mind, Giga Drain, and HP Rock. I was like, you know what, I'm going to taunt this thing. If I don't want Stealth Rocks, I might as well just do it. So then he's then going to send in this stupid Slowbro derpy looking thing. But you know what, I was like, let me go for an HP Rock, just in case he sends in the Dragonite. I'll get off a decent amount of damage. And instead I actually happen to get like a good 25% off on this Slowbro after the whatchamacallit. So then I go for a Giga Drain, and that kills this thing really freaking quick. So he didn't even get a chance to Mega Evolve his Mega Slowbro. I was like, wow, that really freaking sucks. And we're halfway through this battle, and I haven't even gotten a chance to Mega Evolve my Mega Sharpedo. So it's like, is this, what? So then he goes into his Raikou. Now, here's the thing that I kind of got a little bit of luck on, because now that I've killed the Slowbro, it's now 6-5. However, like 3 of my Pokemon are less than half health, so I kind of sort of have to watch on how like that plays really well. So then he goes for the extra sensory, and I think he actually wanted to go for a Volt Switch. I really think he wanted to go for a Volt Switch, because that's mainly what these things do, is they go for Volt Switch. But maybe he could have gone for extra sensory because I was a fighting type. Who the heck knows? And because he switched out right there, that tells me that he is choiced in some way, shape, or form. Don't know if it's Specs or Scarf, but I know he's choiced because he didn't just go for Volt Switch. So now that this stupid thing is out, I go right into my Zapdos. I actually really did expect this thing to come in, so I go into my Zapdos right away so I can kind of sort of scare it out and get a little bit of more chip damage off on this stupid little Dumbreon thing. He's obviously going to switch out, doesn't want this thing to die to a Heat Wave. Who would? Sends in Dumbreon, and we're right back where we were like 10 minutes ago. It's a really, this is how the entire battle was up until like the last 5 turns of it. So it was a really close battle. I was kind of surprised by it. So now that I get my leftovers, he gets his leftovers, we are basically both back at full health, and it kind of sort of does neither one of us any good. So it's whatever, man. It's whatever. I go into my Registeel, 2 reasons. He carries Toxic, and if I Toxic him, I can't be Toxic back. So I was like, you know what? heck, I'm just gonna switch in my Registeel. He ends up going for the Toxic. Didn't really expect him to. I expected him to go for like a Wish of some sort and pass it off to his thingamabobber, the Dragonite. That's what it's called. And he goes for a Wish right here as I go for the Toxic, and I was like, well, now your Umbreon has limited amount of turns, so I guess that's really freaking good for me. And that kind of takes a little bit of a burden off my shoulders, because if I really have to, I don't want to do this, I can Protect Stall with if I switch back and forth from Steelix to Sharpedo, I can like stall it enough to where it'll die in poison, which I don't really want to do that because it's not effective at all, but I mean, I guess it works better than not working at all. Who the heck knows? So now I go into my Victini, and he's going to go for the Foul Play, and I was like, oh my god, Victini, live it! No! He didn't live. And I was like, Victini, come on, man. You could have totally lived that. If Victini had lived that, I would have felt like $1,000,000 on top of a freaking Mega Rayquaza. That's how happy I would have been. Because then I can go for something like a Piss. I couldn't have even done anything to this thing. So then I go into my Weavile, and I also carry Low Kick on this Weavile, just because Low Kick on Weavile is actually really good against some things, like especially with like the new Megas running around, like Mega Swampert. It's kind of heavy. You go for a Low Kick, and it takes down to about 50% if you're Choice Banded, so it's kind of decent. I go for a couple Low Kicks just to get off a little bit more damage, expecting him to roost off so I can switch back into my my Zapdos, and it turns out I get him down to about 3/4 of the way. He goes for a roost like I expected him to, and if I can get him to roost one more time as I switch into my Zapdos, that would be even better. But he actually goes for the Whirlwind, and I'm like, damn it! I hate Whirlwind so much, but he actually sent in my Zapdos anyway, and I was really happy about that. So now that Zapdos is in here, I kind of sort of have to do the exact same thing again. Do I just go for a Heat Wave, or do I just get rid of the rocks? Because I'm not about to have rocks up on my side of the field. I don't like it. I don't like damage like that. It's just it's irrelevant. He goes into Raikou. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Raikou kind of has sort of natural bulk. It has like, I think it's base 103 special defense. So I do just decide to like get my my rocks off my side of the field, because I don't really want my Weavile to switch in and die. It's not really on my agenda. So now that Zapdos is in here, I'm like, Zapdos, I don't know if you can really take a Volt Switch. If you can take a Volt Switch, you're gonna make me really freaking happy. I go into my Registeel, because I know I can take a Volt Switch with Registeel, and it does hardly any damage at all. Just kidding, it did a lot of damage. And that right there is why I think he's Specs. I really think he was freaking Specs. He was probably Specs. Yeah, he was probably Specs. So now that he goes into Excadrill, I'm like, here's where the whole battle is decided. Goes for Rock Slide, he would probably kill my Zapdos in 2 turns. Goes for an Earthquake, you're going to kill my Registeel. He goes for the Rock Slide, I stayed in, and I get to have a Seismic Toss go off on this thing, free of charge. And the reason why I think that really did matter is because I have Aqua Jet on my Mega Sharpedo. If I really have to, I can come with Mega Sharpedo, get the speed boost, get the Mega Evolution, and just Aqua Jet everything, and it would wreck lives. It's really freaking good whenever it gets a speed boost up and then Mega Evolves. But I then decided to go into Zapdos. I was like, you know what? Maybe you're going to overpredict and go for an Earthquake now, but he didn't. He goes for the Rock Slide. I was like, you know what? You went for Life Orb, so you probably just really freaking predicted me well. And if you didn't predict me well and you just were saying, screw it, I don't really care, good way of bluffing it. But I do get my leftovers. He gets hurt by the Life Orb. I'm like, Zapdos, I don't really know if you're worth keeping right now, but I decided to just keep him in there. No, just kidding. I switch out. Maybe that was a different play. I told you, this battle was really freaking long. We're on turn 38 of 54. That is how long this battle was. It was insane. But it was really close. So now that I've Registeel in here again, I'm like, Skrelp, can I take a Fire Punch? And I do take a Fire Punch, actually. Not the best, but I do take it. I go for a Seismic Toss, and I get off enough damage to where I know that an Ice Shard from my Choice Banded Weavile will kill. So now I know 2 of his Pokemon will die to priority moves. Both of them can die from Weavile's Ice Shard because it is Choice Banded. So my Registeel, you are really of no use to me right now, but thank you so much for Toxicking 2 Pokemon and just being the champ at taking hits. You, my friend, are a badass. So then I sent in my Zapdos. I was like, well, maybe you're just going to overpredict me, and I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to go for the freaking Thunderbolt. And I actually get the Thunderbolt off, and it kills the Dragonite. I was like, holy piss, Zapdos, you amaze me more and more, and I'm really starting to like you. I'm really starting to like Zapdos as a wall. I don't know why, because I've never really liked it. Now, right here was the worst freaking turn of the entire battle. He goes for Iron Head. I live it with 1 HP. He gets hurt by the Life Orb. I go for the Heat Wave, and I miss. So, with that being said, this Excadrill was the biggest pain in the ass because of that. Because the one turn that I had a chance to actually do something that was huge and make a huge difference by killing a Pokemon right away, got taken away from me. I was really freaking upset at that point in time. So then I sent in my Weavile. I'm like, I don't really know what to do. You're not Scarf, so I'm definitely going to outspeed. So why not just go for a freaking Ice Punch? And he sends in his Skarmory, and a Choice Banded Ice Punch is actually going to do about 35 to 40%. So it is enough to 2-hit KO it from that range, so Skarmory is going to go down to Weavile. And then Weavile is just looking like the freaking MVP right now. He's then going to send in Raikou, and Raikou, I love Raikou as a Pokemon. I really freaking do. But you know what? Whenever you're going up against it, you just don't know what to do because it's so fast, it's so hard-hitting, it's just insane. So, I expected him to go for a Volt Switch. I really did. And whenever it did that little bit of damage, I was like, maybe you're not Choice Specs. Maybe you're Scarfed? I don't know, man. I don't know. That thing was bluffing the whole entire time, and I don't really know what he was bluffing to. But he sends in this Umbreon. Now, if you don't know what Umbreon does, Toxic, Wish, Protect, Heal Bell. That's all that it has on it. It might have Foul Play. This one does happen to have Foul Play over Heal Bell. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to freaking taunt you. Because, Brayden, if you're taunted, you are irrelevant to the entire game. And I know I say irrelevant wrong, but it's an inside joke with a couple of friends. So, now that you're taunted, you basically have no point in staying on this field. But he decides to stay in as I go for the Calm Mind. I was like, if I'm going to stay in, I might as well set up a little bit to where I know for a fact that this freaking Raikou can't kill me. So I was like, whatever. He then goes for a Foul Play, and I was like, yes! Justified right freaking there, but I'm a special attacker. I was like, well, that really freaking sucks. Because right now I'm at +1 attack, +1 special attack, +1 special defense. It's a shame that I can't get good usage out of everything that I was boosted by. But this thing is a really good Umbreon counter because once you taunt it, you can set up for days on it. I mean, set up for days. But now that he's going for Foul Play, I'm now realizing what he was doing. Foul Play boosts my attack. Justified raises my attack when I'm hit by a Dark type, so every time he Foul Plays me, it's going to do more damage. Holy tits, why did I not realize that? Wow, that was a really good idea. I don't know if you thought of that, but it's whatever. So now that the taunt has worn off, he goes for Protect. Don't know why. I would have expected a Wish, but maybe not. Who knows? So now that he goes for the Protect, toxic damage is actually going to do more to him than Leftovers is. So now I'm just like up so high that a Giga Drain I know will kill it. You know, Umbreon is definitely going to go down because of freaking Verizon NU Legendary coming in to finish off the freaking Dumbreon. Oh my lord, I was so happy. So he's not going to send in Raikou again. Now, right here, this is where I want to just emphasize that Verizon, whenever you put Calm Mind on it, it's really freaking good because he's going to go for an extra sensory. And it didn't kill. I do go for a Giga Drain. I'm at +2 special attack, and it almost kills Raikou. Raikou has decent special bulk, like I said earlier, so that really does matter. So now, with all this being said and done, he's going to go for another extra sensory, and I know I can live it, but I can't because it's a crit. So I was like, God damn it, Bogut, what the heck are you doing? Oh my god, it was a really good play. But now I go to my Weavile, and I know that both of his Pokemon are in range to die from a Choice Banded Ice Shard, so obviously, that's what I'm going to do. I could have gone into my Sharpedo and gotten to show it off a little bit, but you know what? I like Weavile more than Mega Sharpedo. I really freaking do. I don't know why, I just do. But I go for the Ice Shard, Twist Bandit Ice Shard. I think I'm actually Adamant as well. Get the crit. Don't really know if that mattered too much. I don't think it did, because another Ice Shard would have taken it out no matter what. Goes into the Raikou. Know for a fact an Ice Shard is going to take this thing out, and Weavile and Virizion just put in the finest of work against one of the Lithio's greatest battlers. There's like 5 really freaking good battlers in this league that I just love battling because they make me better personally. But that's how the battle went. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. Leave a comment as to what your favorite legendary Pokemon is to use competitively and why. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys later. Bye!